So today we celebrate the feast of the Archangels Michael, Gabriel, and Raphael. And we can get to this, I think, one of the ways that a lot of art and sometimes modern media has done is just demystify some of the reality of angelic beings. You know, screwed up some of the theology of it as well. It's like, touched by an angel, as wholesome as that show was, ruined, bad theology. Human beings don't become angels. Come on now. Angels are created as angels. They're purely spiritual. And I think, and there are different classifications, right? And so, angels are God uses as messengers. But there's a point where we realize it's like sometimes we forget the messages can be terrifying. Let's just think, now with especially the archangels, their messages, they're of a different class of angels. And so their messages have a great importance. They're of a higher level. So if we just think, looking at Michael, Gabriel, Raphael, just them in particular, and seeing what kind of messages they bring that should, sometimes stop us in our tracks and cause us to pause and consider. So Michael, whose name means, who is like God? Which meant it was almost like a rallying cry, a battle cry, facing an army. Who is like God? Right? It's like, no one. Who do you think you are standing against us? Against the Lord of Lords, the King of Kings, who is like, think about that. Whew. It's like, Michael. Right? And so when we are confronted by Michael, sometimes look in our lives, think, am I consorting with the enemy? Am I consorting with sin? Am I consorting with things that would cause me to be on the other side of that army of whom Michael is leading into battle? Who is like God? Right? So in this, when we think of Michael, let us ask for the grace to stand firm in faith, to resist compulsion to dark thoughts, and to choose the good even when it costs us. Gabriel, God's strength. Right? And he brings a message of mission. Again, sometimes for us, it's a terrifying message. This is how God wants to reveal his strength through you. He appears to Mary. This is how God wants to reveal his power, his strength, his glory through you, who according to the world means nothing. Right? Little girl in this this nothing part of the world that would have been a blimp on the radar. But he wants to change the world through you. What could happen to Zechariah when he questioned that mission? How about we take a few months and not talk for a while? Different ways in revealing God's strength. So it's a reminder when we come, he comes to us in moments of decision, reminding us that God's timing is perfect. He's on my mind a little this week. God's timing is perfect. And so may we listen with receptive hearts, discern honestly, and respond with trust, even when the message is surprising or demanding. Raphael. His name can mean a few things, but in a sense it's God's healing hand. He represents healing. As you see in the Old Testament, he guided Tobias and brought sight to the blind. And then sometimes the prospect of healing, in the truest, deepest sense, again, can be terrifying. Right? Because sometimes we can live with an illness for so long that it defines us. You know? Think of a person who's born blind, who suddenly has the prospect to see again, relearning all of that. Right? Or is someone willing to suffer to get to relearn everything again? You know, the same thing too with our own spiritual healing. Someone who's lived with maybe an addiction for so long. The prospect of sobriety might be a terrifying thing. So when we think about Gabriel, I think about Raphael, when he presents healing in its fullest, truest sense, he invites us to seek healing of body, mind, and spirit, and to extend mercy to others. And sometimes to invite that healing in themselves, which can be, again, to break through to someone, to invite them to embrace healing in that fullest sense. Not always the easiest thing. And so may we be instruments of God's care, offering hope where despair dwells. And so as we celebrate these holy messengers, let us ask for 3 simple gifts: courage to stand with truth, willingness to listen to God's invitation, and generosity to bring healing to our wounded world. May their prayers guard us from evil, enlighten our path, and lead us to the joy of serving the Lord in all we do.